Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500 for the 6th of July, and starting on the daily chart here, our primary count is from the low here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, and looking for an A wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave here for wave B, and then down for wave C of 2 that can bring us down into the 50-60% retracement level here. So we'll just need to be mindful. We're actually just looking for 5 waves. Once wave B finishes, we're looking for 5 waves here. They should have some sort of equality to wave A here, so it may not come all the way down here, but our job is to track 5 waves down here and then look for a trade setup to go long at that point. Also too, this particular trend up through here can be counted differently, which leaves us with a wave 4 over here. So we can have a quick look at that in here, I think. So it looks like this here with wave 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here, and then moving up higher from that point. It does leave the idea that, as you know, on the cash market, just going over this again for the beginning of the week here, on the cash market, this is the high here. So it's possible to count this down the cash market as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I know it's got overlapping wave structures, so between 1 and 4, I know that's a problem there. But the other main point here that we just really need to be mindful of is that let's just assume for a moment that this wave 4 is in place here. What we're doing at the moment is we're tracking 5 waves up here. I believe that we still have another little move to go up here, and then we'll either come down here for an ABC pattern here to the 50-60% retracement level and push up from that point, or we're going to have a larger 5 waves coming down into this space here, which is probably likely, and then move up from that point there. And wave C here can pretty much equal wave 5 here, or it can come deeper down here. We just need to count the structure. I just really want to be aware that just want to cover all bases, that we don't want to think that we're going to be we can be bearish, of course, we can be short, but we just need to get past this little place here. We don't want to get caught out here in any way whatsoever, and if it is going to move up here, we need to be aware of it, and we need to look for a setup on that side of it. So we just need to be flexible at this point here with this. So our main job today is that we have a few trades in here, and we're going to move the stop up under the low here and continue to the upside here. So let's go in and have a look at that. Just go to the the hourly chart here. So this is how we're looking at it here. So wave A here, and then an A and a B wave here, and a C wave up into this space here. So let's just go in and take a closer look at that. So there's different ways to accommodate this first wave here. I know that because the cash market it's got a cleaner first wave here, as I mentioned the other day. I won't go into that at the moment. Don't want to burn up too much time. But what we're going to do is we're just going to move the stop up under this low here. We're waiting for that to come into play here. For this, we can also look to copy that to go long on and around here, and we'll talk about this a little bit further, because what we want here in a nutshell is we want to find, if I can just remove that, we want to, it does appear that there's a little impulse wave coming in here, so 5 waves up here. I'll just draw that, and we're looking for that first high above the level here, and the levels here, we've got 3,100, so that's a minor level, and then the next minor level is 3,200, which is up here, and in between that we've got the sub levels. So it's just the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8 here, but with 8 here we put in 72 and 65, so we've got group 2 here, the midpoint here, and the group 1 here. So what we're looking for here in a nutshell is we're looking for, if we get support, a tested support on top of this level here, that means we still need the first high above the level. We need the classic trading levels pattern sitting on here. So if I can just, if that's the 3,130, we will see the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then it basically finding support over here. Once you see that, then you can start moving in and putting your stops under the previous lows here. Once that's, you know, got support there, there may be a variation on that, so we may end up not coming back below the level here. So we just need to be mindful of that, and, you know, take these highs out here wherever you see them. You can also use the levels over here. Even this is 3130. You can also drill in further to the micro levels, which would be 31 and then the next three. So 31, 33, and getting support on the 33 will be will be just in here, 1, 2, 3, because once you get support on the 33, then you know that the 30, you won't be going back to the 30 at that point. You with me? And then once you get to the 5, you can also add on 5 as well. It just depends on how close you get to the market, I guess. But understanding the levels and moving in with support, and they're fantastic because that way you know where to move your stops eventually as well. Don't put your stops on whole numbers, of course. Yeah, look, that's it in a nutshell. We'll go in and have a look at this here. It all sort of seems to fit quite well. There was one little wave in there that sort of bothered me a little bit. Yeah, this one. We'll just go back up here. Just let me bring in this here a little bit. This is just the wave 4 here. Where are we? Get the brain working Monday morning. So top of wave 3 here, and wave 4 here. Now, this is our 38.2% retracement level here, so we haven't pulled back to that level, but everything seems to be okay as a 3-wave structure for the A wave, so that's helpful. We know that it's corrective at this point. An A and a B and a C for the B wave here, that's all fitting. I've got this extra little wave in here. I mean, I can probably get 5 waves at this point, so I'm just a bit unsure about this little guy in here for this, so that's a bit of a concern, but I'm kind of okay with that. Maybe it's maybe the count is with a little wave 1 and 2 here, but I don't like that either, actually. No, it just doesn't work. I've got the same thing here as well. It's just something not quite right here. But anyway, I'll soak that up because this particular move here is starting to develop as an impulse wave. So an impulse wave is 5 waves, as you know. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and ABC for 4 here and up for 5. So it's appearing that we're getting our first little. I'm going from 100 ticks down into 10 ticks now. So we'll be able to see that a bit. Don't worry about the labeling too much. I've just got a degree or 2 higher here. But I just want to point out here that that we can see, you know, a nice 3rd wave coming into play here with wave 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. We can look at this as wave 1 to here, an A and a B and a C here. Let me just double check that. No, that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So that's the wave 1 and 2 and 3. So, and this is the 5th wave here. So we're getting that, you know, we're getting that happening here. So even though I can't draw on this side here, we should see some sort of move a little bit higher here. And then it can pull back to the 50-60% retracement level here. So you'll just need to be mindful to leave your stop out of the way here a little bit. So you'll need to leave your stop below the 61.8% here. But the trick is really getting support on that. If you can have a closer stop, if you get that support there, you know. So we've got our 5 waves up here. So that's probably a little bit more to go in that, but there'll be something like that. You can just draw a line through here, you know, after you get that ABC pattern there. So that should take us up to up into this space here. Coming back from a holiday, everybody should be sort of chomping at the bit a little bit and ready to push that market a little bit higher there. And in the bigger picture here, just just looking at this bigger picture here, getting that last structure in here should come quite timely. I mean, we've had in terms of cycles and nature and all the rest of it, we've had a full moon building up into here. So we've got that full moon now. So that will start to fade at this point here. And it seems to have some sort of impact on the markets and the metals markets and the meat markets and things like that. I don't know too much about it, but it's just good to keep a little bit of an eye on. But anyway, let's see. And as I mentioned before, if we're wrong with this here, then we'll be looking for support on this level here, the 3,200. It will end up being the same sort of pattern as such here before we can go long, so we'd need to be up here for that, but we'll certainly get a reaction from that. We're going to look for getting a reaction from there anyway. And I mean, this leg up here, we've got to count 5 waves up there. How far that will take us, I'm not too sure. We might fall short, we might reach the level, I don't know. None of these tops here really got up that far, but we'll just see how we go with that. But remember that we also need to get out of this trade as well. So obviously the 3,200 is there, but let's just go back to the 15-minute chart here for a moment and just talk about that exit there. So, well, the first thing we should be expecting is a move above this high here. So what we can do, we're in group 2 here, so we can look to start locking in a little bit of profit on at the 72, at the 3,172 there. And we're trying to find 5 waves up here. This one here will just be something like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the first one, and then an ABC back here, and then the 3rd wave up here, and the 4th wave and the 5th wave, and then maybe we don't get support on this level. That's what we're considering, you know, but we'll also look to go long at that point. But we do want to take profit at this level here, and then we'll look to get back in at that point there as well. And also too, once this first 5 waves comes in here and that wave 2 is pulled back, then lift your stop up, you know, move your stop up there. You'll need to protect things as you go to the upside at that point there. And if we come down through, if on the downside I'm wrong and we come down to the 3,100, that's okay as long as the 3,100 doesn't become the retested resistance. It's okay to come down here and bounce off it and even have a little spike in here, I guess, but it can't find it as resistance there. If it does that, then you know that. If it finds retest fails and it moves down, then you know that this is pulling back too far for wave 4 and there's a problem, and we'll probably have a top in at that place there. But I don't think that's the case because of this particular pattern that I'm seeing here. So okay, in a nutshell, we're looking for tested support on 31.30, and then we can move up. If you're long in this space here, then we want to be taking profit at a percentage at 3,172. And if the market, normally if the market gets into group 2 here, into the 65, if it can find support on the 65, then it's pretty much going to move up high from that point there. But if it's going to fail, then it's going to fail at these 2 levels here for that. And because it didn't make it up here before, then we need to be mindful of that as well. Okay, well that's it. Let's see how we go, and welcome to the week. Cheers.